Pokemon Go has officially been sold to the company Scopely for $3.5 billion. And this sale could actually change everything, or nothing at all. So let's talk about it. So literally yesterday, Niantic tweeted out saying that today we're announcing changes at Niantic that will set us on a bold new course. We have reached an agreement for Scopely to acquire Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, Monster Hunter Now, and the incredible teams working on these experiences, and we're spinning off our pioneering. With Niantic also posting on the official Pokemon Go blog page, as well as Scopely posting on their website as well. But so what exactly does this mean for the future of Pokemon Go? Because right now, the entire community is kind of split. But starting off with the blog post on the official Pokemon Go page, we do have kind of a love letter from Ed Wu, who has been the leader of Pokemon Go at Niantic. And he believes that this acquisition will be a positive step for us as the player base, as well as the game's future. Which at this point I hope is true, since it has been many years since the actual Pokemon Go community has been happy with the changes that Niantic has been implementing. And by that I mean basically rolling back a lot of the features that were introduced to the game during COVID times that made the game much more accessible to those that are either in rural areas or of course have any mobility issues who are not able to go to as many in-person events. With them basically saying them reinstating things like limits on remote raid passes and pushing for most of their big events or big raid days to be in-person only events, as them going back to their roots and wanting people to get outside and exercise. Since at the end of the day, that was kind of their mission statement when the game did launch in 2016. But aside from his little love letter to us as a community, he does have a couple of reasons why he's saying that he is confident about the road ahead after this transition period. The first one being that he said that Scopely expressed a deep admiration for this community and their team, which he follows up by saying, "I have every belief Pokemon Go will further flourish as part of Scopely, not only into its second decade, but for many years to come, under the mission of discovering Pokemon in the real world and inspiring people to explore together. Our new partnership, along with our decade-long partnership with the Pokemon Company, means that we can maintain this long-term focus. Scopely fully believes in our mission and ongoing goal to create the best Pokemon Go experience possible. Their focus will support our team, providing resources to continue delivering gameplay you all know and love." Basically expressing that they kind of share the same values, and of course, they are selling Pokemon Go, but the Pokemon Company will still be a part of this project. So they may not be the ones that are directly affecting the game, however, they will of course still have some sort of impact on how the game is run, considering it's still associated with the Pokemon IP. He does also mention that the entire Pokemon Go team is staying together through this partnership, which means that everybody that is currently working on this game will continue to work on this game even after the acquisition process is completed. Which it says here, the same people who have been guiding and building the game for years will continue doing what we love. We're always continually adding to the game raid battles, friends, Go Battle League, Roots, Dynamax, Gigantamax, and of course Pokemon Go Fest and our live events, which I look forward to continuing to do for many years to come. Scopely empowers their game teams as autonomous groups to go after the roadmaps that they're inspired to pursue, and what each team believes is best for the player experience. This approach is extremely appealing to us at Niantic Games. I have spoken to a number of game leaders at Scopely who have given me great confidence in how the company enables each team to independently develop and creatively thrive. And this is why I mentioned in my intro that maybe nothing will change after this acquisition process, because it looks like the company wants each individual team to kind of do their own thing. And since the entire team that is currently working on Pokemon Go is literally staying on the project, they could just literally continue to do the exact same thing that they've been doing. They're just gonna have to answer to a new boss, basically. And then the last point that he makes is that we will be joining a broader organization dedicated to games. Now, it should be noted that not all of Niantic is being sold off to Scopely. It's literally just their gaming department. So that's the department that takes care of Pokemon Go, of course, which is what we're talking about today, as well as like Pikmin and Monster Hunter. And Scopely, for some more context, are the ones that are currently in charge of games like Monopoly Go. And they are also currently managing the Marvel Strike Force game. So they do have experience with popular games. So it's not like they're selling off to like another indie company or anything. But to continue with this point, he says, I believe that Pokemon Go can continue to thrive with Scopely's exclusive and long-term focus on game making. Scopely's status as a private company also means that we can prioritize what's best for you, our trainers, for the long term. We believe that prioritizing short-term gains at the expense of our long-term mission would be counterproductive and self-defeating. Every interaction I've had with Scopely leaders has reinforced that we are in total agreement that the scale, longevity, and most of all, real-world community of Pokemon Go make it truly special. We are united in protecting that. And what I'm hoping that they mean by that is that they are not going to basically bombard the ad with more monetization practices, since a lot of people are currently concerned that that is going to be the biggest change in this acquisition, which is currently a huge topic on Reddit, of all places. With people saying, based on my experience playing Marvel Strike Force, the future of Pokemon Go will be dark. People worried that there is going to be more cash grab type of things that are mixed into the game, like cooldown periods or ads. People giving condolences to those that play Pokemon Go, since they're saying that when Scopely bought Marvel Strike Force, it hasn't been the same since. And people kind of speculating that the first place that they would make changes is by raising the transfer cost for shinies, legendaries, etc., and kind of moving away from like the timer paywall to a full-blown paywall in order to transfer your Pokemon to, say, something like Pokemon Home. People are also mentioning that since these are the same devs behind Monopoly Go, those of us that still play Pokemon Go should expect for the game to become more heavily monetized. And people even saying to delete your accounts based off of like their past experiences with games like Marvel Strike Force, saying that the microtransactions in the game will get worse, new currencies will be introduced, and more expensive offers will be presented, and they'll basically backpedal, saying they missed the mark, instead of actually listening to the audiences, which we're all kind of hoping that maybe they will listen to us in this acquisition, which is kind of like a big thing to think about, since I know a lot of people are kind of trying to be positive about this change, and thinking, well, maybe this is a chance for them to actually listen to the community more and what we want versus just what they want. Since currently that is everyone's biggest issue with Niantic, is that they feel like they are only pushing what they as a company want versus listening to what the community is asking for, or even larger Pokemon Go creators. Now, like I mentioned, Scopely themselves did also post on their own websites with a message from the CEOs saying, today we are proud to share that we've agreed to acquire the games business of Niantic Inc. through a deal valued at $3.5 billion. We are extremely excited to welcome their entire team of exceptionally talented game makers to Scopely, along with their beloved creations, critically acclaimed games Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, and Monster Hunter Now, real-world community building app Campfire, the Wayfarer service, and the global roster of community gatherings that support these games, including Pokemon Go live events. Now, they are promising that players can expect these games, apps, and events to stay true to the experiences they know and love and remain driven by the same dedicated development teams behind these beloved products. Scopely's role post-closing will be to empower the Niantic game team to pursue their ambitious roadmap by providing resources and support, all in service of giving players more of what they want from their favorite games. So Scopely is kind of echoing what Niantic said, and they're basically saying that the game is going to stay the same game that we know and love, and sometimes are upset with. Now, what gives me hope is this sentence here that was on the Pokemon Go blog page, where it says, we have invested to empower thousands of community leaders and ambassadors who lead millions of trainers to play together in the real world. And Scopely is in full agreement that this highly admired program will be a priority to invest in together. The real-world community that loves Pokemon Go will remain our guiding light in all we do. And Scopely does also echo this in a tweet that they tweeted out yesterday as well, that says, to the Pokemon Go app, Pikmin Bloom, and Monster Hunter Now communities, we deeply admire what you've built. These will remain the games that you know and love, and we're here to support them for the long run. With them kind of showing like a little trailer of everything that Pokemon Go has been able to accomplish over the past few years that it has actually been active. So the reason why this gives me hope is that hopefully they actually make good on this promise and start listening to the community and what the community wants so that we can actually work to improve the game together. With a lot of larger creators kind of echoing this same statement, saying that they hope that they will listen to larger Pokemon Go creators or just the community as a whole so that we can work on bringing back the game to its former glory. Since right now, a lot of people are kind of disappointed with the current state of the game, despite the fact that the live events are more popular than ever. Now, in the same blog post that Scopely posted on their page, they do say that their approach at Scopely is to empower game makers to deliver the best possible player experiences for their communities and go after the roadmaps that they've been inspired to pursue. With this acquisition, our role here is to support the Niantic team on their creative journey, providing space, resources, and freedom to innovate and iterate on what makes these games meaningful to you. And go on to say that at the core of their games are socially driven experiences that spark connection, community, and friendly competition among players around the globe, dynamic and always evolving, saying that players will always have a new challenge or world to experience, and built for the long term, featuring immersive worlds that players want to return to for years. All of which do really align with what Niantic was also going for originally. Which, with all that being said, I am of course cautiously optimistic that the game will actually move in a positive direction versus the more negative cash grab monetization direction that many people believe that it may go down. However, I think that it is personally more likely that maybe nothing will change. And like I mentioned earlier, it'll just be the same game and all of the updates will come out as planned. It'll just be under new management. But I am hopeful that with this acquisition, they will actually make a genuine effort to take what the community has been screaming at them, basically, for years, into consideration in actually improving the game and restoring it to close to what it was during its peak in 2016, or even during the pandemic in 2020 when they did introduce a ton of more accessibility features. But of course, I would love to hear what you guys think about this entire situation, so please feel free to leave your thoughts and comments down below. That is going to go ahead and wrap up my thoughts for this entire situation. I guess we just kind of wait and see what is to come. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you did enjoy this video, I kindly suggest that you consider subscribing so that I can continue to make content for you guys. And if you're already subscribed and you would like another way to support the channel, feel free to check out the merch store. There is a link down below in the description that takes you to not only my merch store, but also all of my other socials so you can keep up with what I'm doing on a daily basis. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to those of you who have joined the channel as members. I appreciate you all so much. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.